Here
A
we
month
go.
later. Anyway, I got it replaced. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Damn.
Oh, we love thorns.
Just mean. Somebody stealing your.
Oh yeah.
It
But
gets even worse. The whole story
greetings,
is
dear
horrible.
spirits, and welcome to the Tables of Tartarus, division Purgatory Corner, where fate is bound by dice and stories are carved into eternity. I'm a storyteller Sinspeaks, and today we are here with my absolutely lovely players, Ania, Cyril, Galmar, Dakota, and Aldous, and Sapphire will be joining us in about an hour or so. If you guys want to check them out, please go do so.
Hello.
Yeah. If you guys would like to
Hello.
check out the heroes for this journey as well, you are more than welcome to do so there as well. All the little blurb snippets for each of these heroes was made by each of my players, so you guys get to get a little bit more into their characters. But take your seat to the table and let the threads destiny unravel before you. Every story has a reader, and you should always share your stories. Welcome in. We got really weird start to the day because my OBS decided to not exist after existing, which was a real pain in the ass. I think my graphics card driver like fucked itself temporarily for a second there, and that's what happened, but not 100% sure. So we had both Yvonne and Ray getting first today. And then let me see if I can figure out who started the train. Ray, welcome on in. Welcome on in, Creeper, Asti, Ozra, Azario. I think Pocket was here too, if I recall correctly. Yeah, there's a Pocket. Welcome in, Pocket, as well. And anyone who I might have missed because this absolutely weird insanity that just happened, welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all of you so very, very much. For today, let's do. Yeah, I think I'll stick with doing the recap first, and then the session prompt to allow you guys get like kind of into your character directly before the thing starts. I appreciate you too, Asti. Always love seeing you. So last episode, I barely remember anything from it, I'll be honest. I've been doing so much homework this week. I'm a bad
Ray
DM, guys.
cried. Are
Huh?
you tagging me in?
Yes, I'm gonna tag you.
Ray was sorry.
Go ahead, Gilmar.
Ray got to chat with her passed away a mother.
Oh yes, that's right. Thank you.
I cried so much.
It was
You know,
very
the
entertaining.
usual.
I may be evil. It's fine.
Would you like me to pick up from there, or do you want to do the recap, Gilmar?
Honestly, most of what I remember from there was basically Gelmar and Ania ran off and made an attempt to get the restraints off, and it did not go well.
It did not go well. Let me see if I can recall. Let's see. So Aldith was talking to her mother. It went quite well. One second, let me do one thing so I can focus better. There we go. Okay. So Aldith was talking to her mother. It went well. They talked about a lot of things, and I believe her mother basically encouraged Aldith to not be weighed down by feelings of what she has to do, instead do what she wants to do, and not be weighed down by feeling like she hasn't lived up to her mother's expectations. Just like oh, I'm not enough for you, but the mom was like, no, you're already enough by just being you. And then Aldith cried. Meanwhile, the rest of the party, they were talking with Dakota a little bit, trying to find out that Dakota met with the author of the Dakota Writer books. They discussed that a bit, and when Aldith returned, I don't think Aldith talked much about what happened other than the base level, but she did want to ask Cyril about something her mother said, which was that Cyril, I believe, is what was it, an immortal? I think I have the notes on it.
Her mother called him a
Demigod.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. So Aldith, as soon as she was done crying, rounded on Cyril. Was like, do you care that you have something to share with the class? And I don't think anyone but Cyril and Ania heard the demigod part. But then Cyril just started talking about more about his past and what happened. His company going to discover this creature. They were trying to clear out some farmland, but there was this weird barrier, and they breached it, and there was a creature there that turned all of Cyril's company into creatures like him, but he was the only one with his mind still intact. So he went back to Haven and to the council, and the council was like, oh man, that sucks. Also, never talk to us again. Here's like some gold to shut you up. Which made Aldith very, very unhappy about the whole thing. Aldith and Ania both try to figure out what the creature was, and they have some ideas on things to look into regarding that later. More that it might be another godlike entity, or maybe it's a fae entity, or something. They don't fully know, but they're not sharing it with Cyril because they're probably going to go on their own individual detective quests to try and figure out what the heck that is, and maybe help Cyril on the way. After that, I believe they talk with Life Learner more. Not too much. Oh yeah, Ania talked with Life Learner on her own. And let me see my notes here. I have the notes.
It comes very much so in handy.
I usually only take notes from Ania's side of things because when I write things down, I remember them better. And I don't want to accidentally remember things thinking, oh, Ania knows this, but she doesn't. So I usually only take notes on Ania's side. Unless I think something's like really important or I need to write it down so I can share with the class later.
I think Dakota talked to Ania's mom about the whole changeling thing and what Ania's mom knows about the changeling thing.
Yes, Dakota talked to Ania's mom and revealed. I don't think did Dakota show the mom their like core form?
I don't believe so.
No, I don't believe so.
I don't think so. But Mom already knows about changelings, and they had a nice little chat. And at the end, the mom sort of welcomed Dakota to see her anytime. Like, hey, if you need someone to talk to that is more of a parental figure, I am here. But she was very gentle about it. She wasn't like overt. And Ania talked to a Life Learner about the Yuan-Ti. And also about the tree and some things regarding that. And Life Learner is especially interested in the Yuan-Ti lady that they've encountered a few times who keeps getting away that Cyril almost murdered. Because apparently Yuan-Ti are not supposed to be very smart and capable of rational thought, but Lady most certainly is. Let's see. After that, I believe, is when the party began to wrap up so they could go on their individual dream journeys in order to their journeys of the self, which Ania and Gelmar weren't going to do. And so, like mischievous goblins, gremlins, they wandered off to try and break Gelmar's collar, which eats magic, which is what prevents him from being an actual dragon. And Ania found out her hand can also eat magic because of like the cursed god touch thing on it. So they were like, let's just try to break it, us two, by ourselves. That sounds like a great idea. And to their credit, they almost did, but Ania's constitution, especially with everything she's been through, was not enough, and she passed out after it cracked, and she was bleeding. Gelmar is also in pain. Gelmar locked her up in a little crystal to add to his hoard, which is very cute.
I mean, it's giant, but yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
well, a big crystal.
Yes.
He like wrapped her into a crystal sort of protective shield. and protected her and just laid down and also was hurting, so kind of also maybe not passed out but is resting, and they're just sort of bleeding out while the rest of the team today is going to go on dream journeys. They'll be fine. They have no idea. Everything is fine.
They just need a long rest to not murder the shit out.
Yeah.
They learned nothing from Dakota opening the coffin.
Oh no, we definitely
they learned
not.
plenty.
And we never will.
Oh, beautiful. For not mechanical, because I still haven't had the time to sit down and figure out the mechanics behind it, but effectively speaking, both you and Ania Gamar will have exhaustion level 1. I will probably figure this out after the 10th of March, as that's when I will be on a small break for my school. But yeah, so for now, you guys will thematically have exhaustion level 1.
Yay!
I'll figure out some way to translate that in the future, but we'll see how it works. But yes.
And if I forgot anything or if I got anything wrong, feel free to, if anyone wants to speak up about that, go ahead.
I didn't notice anything, but...
Yeah, very detailed.
Cool.
Alrighty. Do any of you remember which side I picked on last time for the session prompts? Was it Nia I started with or Aldous?
I started last time.
Okay. In that case, I will start with Ania this week. So, for the session prompts, for anyone who doesn't know, we do a session prompt at the start of every stream for Tyrants and for Kings to kind of get both us, the viewers, well, I'm more or less a viewer as well, but for the viewers, me as the DM, as well as the other players, to kind of get a little bit more into the headspace of the characters. Whether that be actually getting into the headspace of the character directly before we actually start the session proper, or whether that be just understanding the character a little bit more, be able to explain that to other people. Whatever it may be, this session prompt allows us to kind of get into your character's headspace and kind of be able to kind of learn more about your character, a little bit more behind the scenes, but getting to explore them a little bit more in depth than we're able to within session. Some of my session prompts are designed to look really deep into your character and kind of pull out, thoughts and issues that your character may or may not have that we can explore and see. Kind of gives us more of a depth of field for them. Other prompts, like the one I have here, are a little bit more simple and is designed to make it so we can kind of learn more about your character's what's the word? I have a very specific word here.
Mindset.
We'll go with that. Very specific, like your character's mindset and how they're moving forwards and stuff. So, Ania, the session prompt for you is there a promise that your character made that they are hell-bent on keeping? If so, what is it? If no, can you think of a promise that they would make that they would go through hell to keep?
So, Ania does not make verbal promises pretty much ever, because as someone who like reads the stars and all that, she's like, you never know when things are gonna change. I'm not gonna make a promise I don't 100% certain know I can keep. She does make mental promises or oaths where she will try very hard to achieve a thing, but she never verbalizes it because she doesn't want anyone to hold it over her head or for her to hold it over herself that, she broke the promise. She's very particular about that. As far as things she would promise to herself to do that she wouldn't verbalize, let me think of a good way to say it. She doesn't make many. I think she sort of has a silent promise to, keep the party alive. Things that she would beat herself up with internally if she failed. So, like, she definitely wants to protect everyone. And although she's very scared for her own life, she would usually, as the healer, put everyone above hers. Because when she's caught up in the moment, she doesn't really think about things other than her target. So generally just, protecting everyone, keeping everyone alive, does not like making promises. Unless she 100% feels she can keep it.
That's fair. All right. Cyril, same question for you. Is there a promise your character has made that they are hell-bent on keeping? If so, what is that promise? If not, can you think of a promise that they would make that they would go through hell to keep?
I think as much as it may be clear that maybe they were in the room to be there in the first place, he has made and will absolutely keep, even if he dies in the process, the promise to hunt down that creature, and in the hopes that successfully doing so will free his brothers from at least their madness, and hopefully him and the rest of his company from the curse currently afflicting their bodies.
Okay. And Gamar, is there a promise your character has made that they are hell-bent on keeping? If so, what is it? If not, can you think of a promise that they would go through hell to keep?
Sorry, I'm midway into retyping it. I'm almost done.
No worries. If you like, I can move over.
Actually, let me just start her now. A promise to his sister. The world we're leaving home to join is filled to the brim with the wonders and dangers of plenty. Let's stand together, learn from each other, defend each other as we navigate its workings. He's failed his promise due to her abduction, but as he's trying to make right by it by going to seek her out and rescue her, he's now trying to fill it in with trying to guard the rest of the party, treating them as his personal charge in her place.
Interesting. Okay. So it's primarily a promise to his sister to save her?
That is his role now that he's failed his immediate promise. He's trying to make right by it so he can continue down that pathway as he was before.
Very nice. I like it. All righty. Dakota, same question to you. Is there a promise that your character has made that they are hell-bent on keeping? If so, what is it? If not, can you think of a promise that they would go through hell to keep?
I think that it's kind of tricksy. I think that I don't know if he's made like any promises to anyone specifically, but I know that he's very passionate about promises because it's in the Cowboys Code that promises way more than law. So he's very dedicated to the idea of them. I think the main one that would be relevant, I think, in a way, would probably be all creatures deserve the right to fight for their lives. The promise to uphold freedom as a cowboy, that he doesn't want to fight anyone that doesn't want to fight. I think that one's really hard for him, though. I think he's still learning how to uphold that idea, but he's promised to uphold the ideas of freedom and justice as a cowboy, and I think he's really dedicated to that.
Okay. I like it. Alden, finally, is there a promise your character has made that they are hell-bent on keeping? If so, what would that promise be? If not, can you think of a promise that they would make that they would go through hell to keep?
There's definitely a couple that come to mind when thinking about this one. I think until just recently, the main promise, she kept it to herself. I don't think she ever verbalized it, but I think the promise that she had was to, uphold and follow the life that she thought her mother wanted her to have. But after last session, I think that has changed into I am going to live the life that I want to, instead of like forcing myself to follow what my mother believed. But I also think with that we have to, like, there's obviously her oath of vengeance, but also just the promise to protect the innocent, because at the time that she took up her oath, she felt as though Helm was not protecting the innocent, so she had to do it. So I think that promise still is in play as well.
Interesting. Okay. I like it. As always, I appreciate all of you guys and your answers to the prompt. It does allow us to get a lot more of a view into your characters, kind of how you're functioning, and that allows us to see kind of more how your characters are interacting throughout the session as well. So, as we stated a little bit earlier, Ania and Gelmar are both separated from the group a little bit, while Cyril, Aldith, Dakota, and Sapphire, I believe, are all planning to go on the Dreamwalk journey.
Yeah, I guess that's the plan. So.
I think it was everyone but Ania and Gelmar.
Do therapy while our friends die. I think that's the most Tyrant's thing we could do.
Look, if you're not almost dead, are you truly journeying through dreams?
We're not almost dead. That's the point.
Ah, damn, you're right.
Don't make it so we're almost dead.
You know, hold on, give me about 10 seconds, and I'll make sure my sentence was correct. No. Alrighty, so you guys.
Rex starts calling them. Welcome to my nightmare.
Come here. So yes, is more or less the nighttime has started to come by. The sun has dipped over the clearing, I guess. The hills, the tree line, whatever wording you may use to visualize that. The sun has dipped down below the horizon that you guys can see. And the nighttime has officially begun. As per usual, as you guys look up, you guys swear that the stars are closer to you guys than they are normally in most of the areas around. And I believe, hold on, remember their name real quick. Where's my chat story? There you are. Yes, I do look in my chat to see the name. So I believe it was I think it was Saris. Yes, Saris Nightfall.
The one that's going to be helping them.
Yeah.
Let me look that up. I need to learn how to use these features better. 1 second. I need to find out how to search things faster.
Not
but
gonna
one of us needs to immediately inquire about their name.
Or Moonfall, sorry.
Yes, Saris Moonfall, Seris.
Yes. Alright. Yeah, you guys see Saris coming down the hill towards you guys as they said they would the previous night. They don't really say much to you guys as they move around the campfire. They seem to be kind of like setting some stuff up. You guys are welcome to talk to them if you'd like, or you guys can just let them do what they're going to do, basically. It's up to you.
Yeah. Is there a way we are supposed to sit or
not quite? The way that this will go is that, and they're kind of like drawing out a small circle on the ground with that same weird chalk substance that a life learner was using, but they only do a single circle and then they sit down into it in a meditative pose. And they say, as long as you are around the campfire, you shall be safe. You can think of it as a guiding light to keep you grounded.
Did you say safe?
Yes. As with everything, there are dangers to going into such a land. Druids are trained in this, so it is not as dangerous for us. And without a guide, you could certainly die. Which is why I am here.
I'm sorry. Die?
Indeed. Did you not have such an experience with the Moon Druid's pool?
No, I've never died before. Sorry.
They chuckle softly and they say, I assumed as such. But no, a near-death experience.
Well, I suppose. I mean, if it weren't for the rest of you guys, I would have probably stayed under that water all the way until I couldn't breathe.
Indeed. The Druid Circle has many things to prevent youngings from, well, losing their life. It takes a lot of will to be able to get yourself out of such a situation. Yeah, going level 0. To get yourself out of such a situation, it can be quite difficult. So, we often have a guide to teach, to guide, and make sure that you do not lose your way. As I do not know how your minds will work, I also have the campfire in front of us. The campfire will act as a light that you can always come back to. Something that will not falter as much as others will. You're echoing a little bit, Zero, just so you know. While it is important that the moon carries you, they kind of gesture to the moon above you, which is astonishingly large. It is not something most people can focus on. The campfire is closer, is brighter, and is something that will be there. It is also deeply important. This campfire does not go out. They kind of add a couple more logs to the campfire. But it should be fine. Unless your memories are particularly insightful. There should be nothing that you will desperately cling to beyond your own will to escape it.
So, do we do this one at a time or all together?
I've done it sparse few times with a large group. I will essentially be walking you through a memory. Some kind of memory. One that you will choose, although not quite consciously. I can connect you all. And you'll be able to walk through it together if you think they will help. Sometimes it is best to have friends to help guide you where you falter. That is up to you and yours.
Oda looks a little bit nervous. He's kind of glancing away under his hat to hide it.
I am willing to let the three of you to my memories. But I won't force myself into yours.
Aldith also looks slightly nervous, but not nearly as nervous as Dakota does, but yeah.
Suppose that means we are I think we will likely be most comfortable if we are all individual.
So be it. I will warn you, this will not be an experience similar to the moon pool. Every druid has a different journey that they are able to take others on. The moon pool is one of the most direct and one of the most simple. It simply shows you who you are in the most, well, direct terms. Moon druids are exceptionally good at the direct. The stars, on the other hand, they are not as direct. It is why we have to interpret them. When the stars druid allows you to walk into your history, it is not simple. It is not a journey that is taken with the idea that you will find out exactly what you are looking for. Instead, you are walking down a path where you are learning. But I cannot tell you what you will learn. I cannot tell you what your goal is, or what the journey you are taking will be. Only you will know that. Gesundheit. They get into their mete pose and they say, "Whoever wishes to be first, simply sit across from the fire from me. Close your eyes, and we shall begin. For the others, do not let this fire go out." They say that with a gravely, what's the word? Important tone?
Serious?
Serious. Thank you. Serious tone.
I'm gonna look to the other. I'm gonna look to the others with me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I will go and gather some wood, and one of you can go first.
All right.
So Dakota and Aldith, which of you would like to be first?
Rock, paper, scissors.
How would we could like, how do you want to do rock paper scissors over it?
Well, 1d3, 1 beats 2, 2 beats 3, 3 beats 1.
I mean, you could also just do it like this.
Boulder, parchment, shears. Come on.
Just saying.
Sure. We can like roll a 1d2 or something as soon as I remember to get into the actual website. Oops. I keep forgetting.
You guys can roll a 1d3, 1 beats 2, 2 beats 3. Or yeah, 1 beats 2, 2 beats 3, 3 beats 1. Huh?
1d2 is probably going to be similar. Just flip a coin.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Dakota doesn't.
wants to be heads.
Dakota does not look like he wants to go first. Just so you know.
Ray doesn't want to go first because Ray had such a emotional session last time, and Ray doesn't want to take the spotlight all the time.
I love how we're all I love how we're all avoiding this for completely different reasons.
Well, someone has to go first.
This is true.
Is it how do you roll in chat on Foundry? I can't remember.
Just type in /r space. /r space and then number of face or number of dice, the number of faces.
Yeah.
And of course add plus modifier at the end.
So in this case it'd be /r space
probably
1d2.
loading.
It takes a good
1d2.
like 30 seconds for the black screen to fade. Oh, that's cute. Oh, you can see the little coin on the screen too. I love that.
Yeah, I saw that. That was very fun.
Wow, it would be such fun to see it.
I got faith in you, Dakota.
It's starting to load. Okay.
Yay!
Almost. It's loading the world map.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, I see. I did not see the coin, but I did see that Aldith rolled a 2.
Yeah.
Correct.
Flipped a 2, whatever.
I don't know what your guys' plan was for the 1 and 2.
I figured you were gonna choose.
Uh,
High, low, high first.
I figured
Alright,
DM
hold
was
on.
gonna choose.
Colty, pick 1 or 2.
2.
Alright, I'll just flip a coin.
Another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
This way
hold on.
Colty can also see the cute coin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Alright,
I
Colty's...
guess Dakota's going first. Okay.
Tails never fails.
I like to think that the rock paper scissors was canon, like in the thing.
They would have too. They for sure would have.
Rock, paper, scissors, snake.
It's actually kind of funny. There is actually canonically dice in the D&D world.
Yes. Alright, so Dakota, you say across from Cirrus?
Yeah, it was like Dakota got like a rock and it's just like shoot. Alright.
Alright. You sit across, and having been around high elves for so long, you get into the high elven meditation stance, as you're fairly used to, especially while trying to go to sleep. Which you see Cirrus looks slightly surprised, seeing you so effortlessly moving into that specific stance, which almost perfectly mirrors their stance. And they nod before closing their eyes. I'm assuming you do the same?
Yeah. It also looks like he does not want to be here. He did not realize this was how it was going to go.
Now,
Dakota came here completely of his own volition, and I think he hates that.
now, before we start, I'm going to roll a luck roll, d20, to see how the weather is for you guys. High is good, low is bad.
It starts pissing rain.
Not the worst, not the worst. There's a few clouds that are slowly moving over. I'll do this periodically to see what happens, because I kind of want to see what you guys decide to do if it does start horribly raining. So yeah, the for now there's an overcast. There's a couple of clouds moving in. It's not bad. There might be some rain on the horizon, but you're not 100% sure.
Do you think that like since like the stars looked closer, do you think the clouds also looked closer? Like the whole sky is just kind of brought down?
That's a good question, and I kind of like that concept. Yes, I will go with that. That sounds fucking awesome.
These are the most intimidating normal overcast clouds.
There are big clouds above you.
Does that mean that we're currently in like dense, damp fog?
The clouds aren't that close. Okay. If you had to guess, they would be like a mile up, basically. Hi, Sapphire. Welcome in.
Hello.
So it's like these are like they're still clouds, like they're still like above us, but like they look awkwardly close.
Yeah, it looks super close. If you would like Sapphire, if you are settled in, we can have you do the prompt for today, since we haven't gotten to the meat and potatoes of the session just yet.
Sure. What's the prompt?
Alrighty. So the question is, is there a question your character made that they are a promise? Alright. Yeah, promise question. Yeah, it says, yeah. But is there a promise your characters made that they are hell-bent on keeping? If so, what is that promise? If not, can you think of a promise that they would make that they would go through hell to keep?
Let's see. I can't say that Sapphire would have like actually voiced this to someone, but like other than internally on her own.
Yeah.
She's promised to do her best to keep her party alive.
Ooh. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you very much. Alrighty. And currently, the party is most of the party is currently sitting around a campfire. This would be including you. You, Aldith, and Dakota currently sitting around the campfire. With a half elf named Cirrus, who is kind of planning to guide folks through their dream walking adventure. Because shockingly, we've not gotten that yet. We're about to start that. It's great. Ania and Gelmar are separated from the party, and they are about to attempt to break Gelmar's collar. They did this last episode, so they're kind of disconnected from the party while everyone does the dream walking. They're to the side doing all this fun stuff. They horribly injured themselves by doing so. Ania absolutely knocked the fuck out of herself with her magic, and Gelmar, feeling quite possibly the second largest quantity of pain that he's ever felt in his entire life, is also out cold. They'll be doing this later on through the night, so it hasn't happened quite yet in game so far. And Cyril is currently going out to get firewood, basically. The Cirrus has essentially told the party that they will be taking you through a dream walk, which will involve essentially you discovering things. But unlike the moon pool that y'all went through way back in the past, discovering things with a dream walk is most of the time not direct. Is a very learning experience that you yourself get to learn about. It's very ambiguous. Yes, thank you. Ambiguous.
There you go.
And then they asked if folks wanted to do it at the same time or if they wanted to do it separately. Both Aldith and Dakota looked very uncomfortable about the idea of doing it together, so they decided to do it fully separately. And then they were trying to figure out who will go first. Cyril has already left to go get firewood, so it's up between Dakota and Aldith. And since you are here, it will also be up to you as well. Currently, Dakota is planning to go first, just because he lost a rock, paper, scissors against Aldith. But if you'd like, you could go first as well, or you can talk with them to determine which order who goes in.
I'm not really sure.
Fair enough.
Like, we're all doing this, right? Like, everybody who's sitting at the campfire or whatever, besides Cyril, who's getting firewood.
Yeah, you will be doing this
Well,
at some point. It's currently you guys are doing it separately, but you will be doing it throughout the night.
Ania and Gelmar aren't there. The rest of the party is around the campfire, and they're all going to do the dream sequence thing. They're just deciding what order to do it in, and if they want to do it with anyone else at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really care what order it in. I'm not sure if Sapphire would want to do this with someone or not.
Good question. All right. Well, in that case, I will have you and Aldith figure out who will go next after Dakota's. Dakota,
Okay.
I believe you want to do it alone. Yes.
Yes. Well, Dakota wants to do it alone because he still hasn't told Aldith his tragic backstory, and he's really nervous about it. I don't terribly mind whether Aldith sees it, but Dakota still hasn't figured that part out yet.
Sure. You guys can choose to do each individual one as either individual or group. So you guys can go into Dakota's one solo, and then go into, say, Sapphire one as a group. It's entirely up to you guys which ones are solo, which ones are groups.
Mm-hmm.
So. Is there anything Dakota would say to that, or are you planning to do it solo?
Like, okay, is he being... Well, okay, hold on. Say that again? Elaborate?
So as you sit down to kind of go into the dream thing, do you want your party members to be joining you on this? And as such, will you ask them to do so? Or do you want to do it alone?
Okay. Dakota, like, being, like, asked like that, I think Dakota wants his, like, friends to be there. But I think it would be really hard for him to, like, ask that. Because I think Dakota is scared to be alone. Like, a part of him, like, wants to be, I guess, in a way, but I think he is scared to be alone in it.
Okay.
But it's a more comfortable idea, in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, Cirrus will look at Aldith and Sapphire, since the two of you are still there and Cyril has walked away. And they will ask the two of you, would you like to accompany Dakota upon their dream walk?
Aldith would probably look to Dakota and give, like, just like a very patient smile. If you do not feel comfortable with me being there, I completely understand, but I also don't want you to feel as though you have to go through this alone.
I think Dakota will take off his hat and he'll kind of, like, look at it for a bit and, like, I think if you're willing to come, I think I'd really appreciate that. I'm just worried about what you might see.
If it's any consolation, I was raised to not judge, for one, and two, I've seen a fair share of things I've done that I'm not proud of. So, I don't think that anything will come of issue, if that's what you're worried about.
Alright. Okay. Sure. You wanna come along, miss? You can come along.
Aldith would probably come along then.
Sapphire would just nod slowly and just assume she's going along no matter what.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just so used to being dragged along everything.
You have been journeying with Dakota specifically for quite a while, especially with the fucking vampire lord. God, I'm losing words. Baby. All right, talk amongst yourselves real quick. I need to go to the bathroom, so be you. You're back.
Be you as in be our characters, or be you as in be ourselves? Because Ray right now is eating mashed potatoes. So
I'm eating carrots.
They are good. They're loaded mashed potatoes, but they're also cold.
Ooh.
I like eating food cold. I'm weird like that.
No, I'm with you there. High five.
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, literally just got dinner right now.
Wow.
We're all eating. I love that we're all eating.
We're so
I finished
cozy
eating
right now.
I fast after 8.
Oh, I can't relate.
Yeah. I guess we just need to chat about something. Hey, how many folks saw the Pokemon Direct this morning?
I saw that really cute dog. What the fuck is that? I want it.
I haven't
I think it was
seen
called like Ponbon.
Aww.
It's adorable.
I haven't seen this, but that's already adorable. I saw the Limbus Company Walpurgis Night announcement.
I'm
so
excited.
So excited.
They did not reveal much about what the actual 10th generation of Pokemon is going to be about. And I'm a little bit nervous looking at how many details they put into the actual materials of all of this stuff. It's just like, this feels like exactly part of the reason why Scarlet and Violet had such a poor frame rate, I'll be real.
I am back. Ow, my ribs. Oh, whoa.
Great. We talked about nothing of substance.
Don't worry, I've been listening.
Was made.
Are Dakota, Aldith, and Sapphire all going in together then?
I believe so, yes.
Did Cyril say that he didn't mind going with others? I just don't want to be left out if he's off gathering wood.
More than 5. Cyril?
Cyril, do you want to come? Do you want to come along, or are you scared you might punch every elf?
No, Aldith's gonna do that too. It's okay.
I mean, it would be cathartic. You know what? I think, first of all, would I be concerned about the state of this campfire right
now? Roll me a nature check.
Maybe they should go in groups of 2. That way at least one group's always with the fire, but no one's left out.
13. That's pretty good. With a large enough amount of wood as well as a covering for it, you ideally would not have any issues. The wind is minorly picking up, and there are clouds on the horizon. So there is a chance there will be a storm. You do not know how long these stream walks will take.
I feel like Cirrus should know the strat here.
I think Ceres is letting us make that decision based on our own risk assessment.
There were no waivers signed.
I didn't
Who
use
needs
no
waivers?
You know what?
Druids are so free.
As much as I would like to join you. The responsible thing would be to make certain that you have a way back.
That's fair.
I can get that.
Alrighty. So you all sit down at the fire, or sit down around the campfire, as Cyril is essentially going to be making sure this fire, which, based on what Sirius has implied, is vitally important to keep aflame, continues. And the rest of you all sit down. And Sirius kind of goes in that meditative pose. Dakota certainly does too. Aldith and Sapphire, you're both technically half-elves. Aldith is raised by half-elves. So you guys would know how elves do the meditation. Whether you two do is up to you. It's not vitally necessary.
Aldith probably would, because she saw her mom do it.
Okay.
Does Sapphire know? I feel like Sapphire is a half-elf, but like how much high elf, well, like not high elf, just like elven like type stuff. Yeah, especially with the memory thing and then also the Fae thing.
That's a good question. I would say, Sapphire, you would know the meditative pose that the other three are doing around you. You would know of it, either by reflex, instinct, or having seen it on your travels over the last year or so. It would not be a natural thing for you to move into, but it's up to you if you want to try mimicking it.
I can just imagine Sapphire trying to do the pose, but awkwardly failing, and
so
holding
cute.
it awkwardly. That one person who's always holding the yoga pose is weird.
I love that. All right, you go into the pose, kind of mimicking Cirrus and Aldith, since they are both half elves as well, or at least Aldith appears to be a half elf, I think is the wording there. Aldith looks more half elf than she does Asimar, I would say. But yeah, so you guys kind of move into that pose, or attempt to, and you guys close your eyes. After a few moments, everything kind of just turns to darkness. And let me use... I had a... Yes, Dakota, you recognize this one.
What?
Oh yeah, I forgot people marked it. No, that's fine. let me just do that real quick. There we go.
just like doodles, just like all over the mess.
All right, so you guys go into this state, and there is a shining beacon in front of all of you, which, in your mind of minds, you assume is the campfire, as it does flicker quite a bit. But, oh, just a moment. Thank you for the hydration. But as you're kind of in this world of sorts, let me just hydrate real quick. My throat is very dry, thank you. As you guys are in this darkness, with this thing flickering in front of you, Dakota, what are your thoughts?
Oh, so we're just like flickering, and there's like darkness and like whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? What are you thinking of?
I would say using this picture is pretty accurate, because it does remind Dakota a lot of talking to the night, of hitting that meditation and all that whatnot. I think Dakota, is really nervous.
Okay.
He's never been very comfortable being submerged in this quiet, this darkness. Like, even though he does technically still have something to cling to, it's the same as seeing the glint of almost a light off of the knight's helmet, you know, as he's approaching. And I think he's still calm, but I think he's just very intimidated, very nervous. He feels very small.
Okay. So...
He feels perceived.
Sorry, drinking a lot. So...
Yeah,
as you guys are
problems,
kind of in the soft darkness with the little flickering light in front of you, you guys do see the two around you, and you do see Cirrus as well. Cirrus kind of stands up from their pose, and they look at you. Not quite not registering Sapphire or Aldith. You guys gonna need to make a pee again. But not quite like not recognizing them, but solely focusing kind of on you. And they look at you and they go, where do your thoughts take you? What rests upon your mind?
I don't know. Just feels awful strange being in somewhere that feels so open, yet I still feel trapped.
Oh? The scene starts to switch slightly. It's kind of like how you see a mirage in the distance in like a desert or something. But the whole world around you kind of does this. The only thing that stays stable is that strange flickering light that almost always seems to be just like in front of you, but not quite. As the scene switches, you have that mirage feeling, and both Aldith and Sapphire will effectively see everything the way that you are seeing it as well, just like right next to you. As the scene switches, as you say that, it switches over to what is essentially a jail cell. That this is more or less what you recall from your past. The stone floor, the stone walls. But instead of the door that you're used to, instead of the wall with the door that you grew up looking at and watching, instead there are simply iron bars that line that wall entirely. Say, trapped, you say?
Yeah. Although, at least back here, there used to be a door I could get out from.
They kind of look at
Just feels
the
claustrophobic
bars. There was a door here. A door can be opened and a door can be closed. Bars, on the other hand, well, they can be changed. But for someone like you, why don't you simply go between them?
I think Dakota will go over to the bars, and how much space is between them?
There's a decently large space between them. In your dragonborn form, you absolutely couldn't go through. Your beak would hit it. Your body's too broad, essentially. But in changeling form, easy. You could walk through that like it is butter. Like it's a fairly large gap between each of these bars. It's more what's the word? Cosmetic bars than it is actually useful.
I think he's gonna look around. Does he see Aldith and Sapphire and things?
They're both with you.
Yeah, I think he'll like hesitate for a moment, and he'll reluctantly try to go into his changeling form, see if that's possible.
It's not particularly hard to do so. It feels about the same as it does whenever you're in your physical body. Changing into that form is always a little bit difficult mentally, but the actual physicality of it is just as fluid as it is when you are in your real body.
Okay. Yeah, he'll take a moment, like shift into that, and then just kind of like look down at his hands for a moment, before he tries to go through bars.
Going through them is incredibly easy, especially at your current height and your general thin size. Honestly, it's as if the bars didn't exist in the first place. As you go through the bars, the scene shifts once more. That same mirage feeling kind of goes through, although it's weird as it's almost like as you go through the bars, you're moving through that mirage, and you end up inside of the library. The Starshell Library. Very familiar place to you. Very lovely place. No one's around. It's all quiet. The books smell just as dusty. And Sirius goes, your freedom is in another contained area. 4 walls, a ceiling, floor, bookshelves all around. And yet free you feel.
Oh, I mean, there's always things here. There's always things to learn, to find. I mean, even if this place didn't always make me feel good, at least there was things here. Things that could help me.
They reach over and grab a book off one of the shelves. And you recognize it, as you've been at this section more times than you can count, is one of the Dakota Rider books. As they kind of open it and they scroll through the pages, you see that each of the pages has what appears to be cell bars in front of it. And they go. And yet, they close the book and hand it to you. Freedom is contained within you.
So what? Like, is there no freedom? No, I always thought maybe there was freedom in Dakota Rider, freedom in this library, but is this trying to tell me that that's not real?
Cirrus simply shrugs. The question is not what is this story trying to tell you. The question is, what do you believe your freedom to be? Is it within these contained books? Is it playing a character that only has one story? Is it being outside of those caged doors? Is it within a library, such as this one? Is it within 4 walls? The scene shifts once again as you guys are inside of a courtyard. Is it within grassy plains, with the sky above you, wild and free? Is it within a city? The scene changes once again, and you're remembering as you watch yourself fleeing from Starshell Kingdom, as you are quite literally seeing yourself run out of the city. Is it wandering within the wilderness itself? And you see yourself with Varys. And again, both Aldith and Sapphire see you talking with this tiefling, as well as a few other members of his party, if I recall correctly. Where is it that you feel free? Or more accurately, why do you feel contracted?
think Dakota's going to see themselves like talking to Varys, and that form is the small high elven girl that I think a few people have seen earlier. As they watch that, quiet for a moment, they're gonna shift into that as well subconsciously. That small elven girl, and she'll think for a moment. It's like, I don't know. I'm just not sure what does it even mean to be free when everywhere I run, I just feel more trapped than if I never left that cell in the first place. I left to the library, and I made a friend, but
the scene shifts back to the library.
I tried to be free in front of her, and she was scared of me, and I ran and I ran, and I met him. I met Varys, and I thought maybe if I was Dakota, I would be free. I would be someone who meant freedom in everything he did. And I still ran. So even if I could be the changeling, cause I've been the changeling before, but I'm still being chased and I'm still being trapped. And I look at Dakota, and I see the cell bars on the pages. Was I never free? Is freedom even real? Every time I felt it, was I just fooling myself?
Aldith and Sapphire, you are both next to Dakota. You are welcome to talk to him if you'd like.
Dakota's barely registering you guys are there. She looks like she's on the verge of tears, to be honest, as she's started muttering indistinctly to herself. Was it all a lie?
Sapphire would go up and put a hand on her back. And like a comforting gesture.
Aldith would, I guess, do something similar in a way where she would grab her hand and just like give the most serious stare I think that has ever been seen on Aldith's face, which is not shocking, but definitely something different. And she'll try her best to give some, like, I guess, like a Cyril type of speech. Like, could you repeat what you had just said? Because it sparked an idea in me for, not you, Sin, Colty. Can you repeat what you just said, like, what she was muttering? Because it sparked an idea in me, and then I completely forgot as I was talking.
I think she was saying something like, it's like, even when I feel free, I still feel trapped. So, even when I'm free, I still feel trapped. So was it all just a lie?
There we go. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Your experiences are not lies. You can't allow yourself to get into the headspace that what you experienced was a lie, because they were your experiences. Whether positive or negative, you experienced them. And you are allowed to feel like you have been wronged, like you are lost. I I understand. I completely understand feeling lost. While I may not understand what it's like to feel a lack of freedom, I understand what it's like to feel lost, and it sucks. But those experiences do not have to define who you are. They define how you grow and how you can change and how you can take the horrid things that you have felt and you have experienced and turn them into who you want to be and who you want to be seen as. You do not have to force yourself to be someone you aren't. You do not have to put on a front because you think that's what people want. It does not matter what we want, it is what you want. Who do you want to be?
I don't know. All I've ever wanted was to be free, to be strong, so that people wouldn't chase me, so that people wouldn't hurt me. So I'm just worried that if I start to be me, to be whoever Dakota isn't, that I might not like who that person is.
Sirius kind of speaks up at the moment, and they say, is who you are everything that this Dakota is not? Are you no portion of Dakota?
She looks down at her hands. The pale, high elven hands start to almost flicker between the gray of the changeling's hands.
Mm-hmm.
I only remember being small and frail and weak. When I became Dakota, I became strong, but I don't know. I don't know which one was real.
Why aren't both?
I don't... She pauses for a moment at that.
There are many faces that are within most individuals. Some are clear and distinct. Some are many in one, such as I. Just because one is different, one has changed, does not mean that all are not true, all are not one. You may be many faces in one, many changes in one, but you are still in one. Switching your physical does not change who you are. The path that you walk is the same path that you have taken. Their demeanor has slightly changed at this point. Very minor, minute details. But their hands have unclasped and are kind of more resting in what you imagine would be like more military kind of style. Their shoulders are more squared. They're presenting more, I suppose the term would be masculine. But it's just like more broad, more, I suppose masculine would be the term. You are every portion of you. Why must one be separate from the other?
I always thought Dakota was like a costume that I wore to hide the real me.
Do you still feel as if they are a costume? Or do you feel like they are that which you cannot accept in your base?
I guess it's I'm not sure. I guess so.
You see the world kind of shimmer back to the darkness with a single flickering light, which... Hoo-hoo! I'll switch slightly back to Cyril here for a second. Cyril, it's been about, I would say, half an hour to 45 minutes at this point. It's been a while as all four of them are completely stationary. They have not moved in the slightest. Not even a single muscle has moved so far. And it's, you know, is what is. You're used to long nights, especially watching, considering you like to stay up and you like to take first watch, regardless of how many people argue with you on it. But the weather has started to take a change for the worst. The rain has started. Above you, the clouds are seemingly a lot closer. So you can see that they're getting a lot more dense. The rain has started. It's a very light drizzle at the moment. But you can see as you look further beyond the horizon, in whatever light that you can, as it's starting to hide the moonlight, that way off in the horizon is very thick thunderclouds.
Where is it?
Yeah. You're unmuted, Sapphire. You want to say something? Sapphire? Oh, okay.
No, I wasn't trying to say something. For some reason my mic unmuted itself.
Weird.
That's just how bad the rain is.
Yeah. The rain's reaching through your screen. But yeah, the rain is starting to come down. It's very light drizzle at the moment, but you can definitely tell it's going to get much worse here soon. The wind's starting to pick up, and you can kind of feel it hitting through your poncho. What are you doing with the fire? The fire is more or less in the open between all of them. There's not a whole lot of protections that it has. You know that if you stalk a fire hard enough, it can potentially survive most windstorms. But rainstorms, especially as bad as it looks like it's going to get from your experience, it will almost certainly go out. Whether it will before or after they are done with their dreams walk is debatable. So what are you going to do?
I am going to do... I'm going to go and find some saplings first. And cut some of those so that I can plant them in the ground and tie my poncho to the saplings to sort of create some form of cover for the rain.
Okay. I like it.
Like it's going to be just barely taller than everyone. It is going to be just barely high enough up so that it doesn't catch fire just from the heat of the fire. Yep. And I am... Excuse me. Going to find some dry probably if there's like a dead tree around or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a forest that has pine trees, right?
Yeah, I'll say so.
Okay. So what I'm looking for after I've set that up, what I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
for is what's actually naturally occurring fatwood. Basically, it's dead pine trees, and the sap from those pine trees has collected in the lower branches,
Mm-hmm.
and it's filled the entire thing
Yeah.
with pine resin,
Okay.
and they burn. It'll burn even in rainy conditions.
Damn. Okay. Yeah.
And I am going to hack off as many of those as I can,
Mm-hmm.
along with, just dragging regular pieces of wood back. And I'm going to make sure that the fire stays stoked. And there's plenty of those. And there's at least one piece of fat wood in there to keep it burning.
Cool, cool. The rain is definitely starting to get worse. I would say it takes you about 20 to 30 minutes or so walking back and forth. Now you set up your poncho cover up also to get the fat wood and everything like that. And it's definitely gotten worse. The wind is starting to whip. The rain is starting to fall pretty heavily. But
Whatever whatever direction the wind is coming from, I'm going to take my armor off and I'm going to plant my armor as a windbreak against the wind for the fire.
Interesting. Okay. That
I'll
works
be
very
everything
well.
but stripped naked here. I am. I have like the lower robe, and I am completely. I have just nothing else on
All right.
except my lower robe and my helmet right now.
It's gonna be a hell of a sight for Aldith, considering the massive gash in your chest frame.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a fun. That's going to be a fun description.
Oh yeah. So yeah, your caretaking of this fire is definitely supporting it. It does not look like it's going to be put out anytime soon. The rain is definitely having an effect on you, because it's come down pretty hard at the moment. But you've been through worse, at least so far, so it's not too bad. As we switch on back into the dream world, you guys are seeing the fire or the light in front of you flicker a little bit more than you might expect. Although you've not been in this situation before, so debatable. But so far it seems to be holding steady. And as you guys switch on back into this dark land, Cirrus kind of looks at Dakota and simply goes, "You are who you desire to be." One teaching that the stars give us is very simple. Look to the sky and learn. But no matter how far up you look, there is not much more you can learn than from inside. So when you look inside, what do you see?
Look to the sky. I think Dakota looks up and kind of fidgets with her hands.
As you look up to the sky changes from a soft, almost inky blackness over to a field of stars. You remember this from one of the first times that you saw Varys. The place he took you was to this exact area. A small area within the left side. Can't remember its name off the top of my head. Elysian Fields? No. That's the main area you're in. Where the Elven area is. As you guys, as you're looking up to the sky, it is filled with stars from horizon to horizon inside this small clearing. Everywhere you can see above you is filled with stars. It was a new moon that day too, so there's no moon either. It's just stars from left to right. As you look up in this dark dreamland, that's what you see as well. So many stars you could not count them all. It's everywhere in your vision as you look up.
I want to be someone happy, I guess. There's not much. Because I want to still be Dakota, but I don't want to be Dakota just for the sake of being Dakota. Because when I wanted to be Dakota before, I don't know if it was good for me. I want to just be a kid again, but I don't want to be a kid because I was always weak. I just want to live.
So now look into yourself.
She sits down.
Look down to the ground, to inside of you, and look for your answers there. You do not wish to be Dakota, because Dakota was a form you chose out of necessity. But you want to be a child, but a child is always afraid. Look into yourself, and seek your answer. Where do you take us? What makes you happy? What makes you, you?
So Dakota's sitting down and puts her hands like against the ground, feeling for grass.
You feel it.
Yeah. Closes her eyes, and I think she thinks of when she first joined the main group. That first camping, that first time they camped together as a group in those first 6 months.
Yeah. You guys the scene shifts back to a roaring campfire, laughter from Cyril being Cyril, Gelmar and I believe Rue talking with one another, Sapphire and Ania probably carving something or another around the campfire. Just general, party interactions, nothing in depth, nothing too serious, but just general laughter. Cyril pulling out war stories or whatever silly beats he has. Gelmar talking about the things he's seen in the mountains on his travels. Simple things like that, simple stories, whether it be high tales or tall tales or simple ones or histories that may or may not have been forgotten at this point. It's just simple laughter, simple carefree interactions between all of you.
I think, and then she kind of looks about for a bit, and there's like Dakota as Dragonborn Dakota, like about at leaning against a tree, and I think he thought it was being really cool at the time, but he was like, he ended up getting like pulled into the group. He's like awkwardly stammering out something, and Elven Dakota looks at that for it's like, I think this was the moment that for just like a moment I felt free and I felt happy. I think this was the moment right here, because I wasn't being chased and I felt really nervous. I I was just starting to get to know everyone, but I felt right here, I felt safe. And that's what I want. Right here.
Were you Dakota in this moment? Or were you simply you?
I think I was trying to be Dakota, but I was starting to get to know people as friends. And I mean, I guess I had that with Varys a little bit, but you know, I was right here. I think I felt like I could learn to be me.
And on your journey, remember this moment. Remember this is you. Be this Dakota, be this your other faces. But this, in this moment, in this second. And you watch yourself kind of, nervously chuckling before going to like full laughter from some stupid thing that Cyril says. As Cyril very often tried to get you to laugh, especially during those 6 months, to the best of my knowledge. You see yourself just kind of laughing, and Cirrus goes, "The stars do not dictate who you are, nor do they dictate who you will be. They give you an idea. They give you a path. They give you, in some cases, closure. But who you are is who you seek to be, who you desire to be. If this is the moment that you are who you are, hold it tight and make it who you are."
I think Dakota is gonna shift back into a changeling form. But, usually that changeling form looks really sad, looks really solemn, scared, trying to take up as little space as possible. But I think they're gonna like really smile for a moment, really soft. And they nod, and I think they look over to Aldous and it's like, "I'm sorry you had to see all this like this. I was really hoping to like find some good time to tell you that I grew up in a jail cell, but you just never really know when the best time is to bring that kind of thing up, you know?"
Sorry, my mouse was not cooperating. Aldith will like shake her head with like a little like disbelieving smile, like, "Brother, you're really apologizing right now." Like and you have nothing to apologize for. You seem to think that you have to share everything with me, which is great. I love that. I love that you feel comfortable enough to share things with me, especially something so innately important to who you are. But I don't want you to ever feel forced or that you have to do it. You are my friend, and you mean so much in the little time that I've spent with everyone. You all mean so much to me, and if that means that you share things with me, then it does. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. I just... And she'll just, like, trail off, not really sure what else to say.
Thank you. Well, I think the main thing is that when we get to Star Shadow Kingdom, we're going to have to do a lot of things there, and we're gonna have to free more changelings that grew up like me. And that probably means we're going to meet some people who are gonna say some things about me. And I want you to know some things so you can make your own judgments about me, because when I escaped, I did a lot of things with the powers I was given. So, and I think it's like Dakota's like thinking about this. There's like some shadows behind them that like take some like forms. Like there's gonna be like Everon there, then probably the knight, and then other elven guards. I don't want. I heard a lot of people, and they're probably going to try to tell you things about me, you know? So, there's gonna be a lot of things that happen there. It's really scary, but I don't want you to think that I'm scary.
You both do hear gunshots as several of the shadows do fall over and kind of dissipate behind Dakota.
And they really flinch and tense up at that.
Aldith will lean forward and pinch the cheek. And like sort of in like a motherly, like big sister, like, oh my god, you're adorable. Like that type of way. She's like, I could never find someone as brooding and absolutely politely adorable as you. Scary. If you and she'll lower her head for a moment. If you can hear about the awful things that I have done and not think me scary, then I think that it should be the same with me for you.
They nod, and because they like almost completely retracted into their rather large cloak on them right now, so you can see kind of sit up a little bit straighter. It's like, okay, yeah.
And with that, the stars conclude upon Dakota's journey. Cirrus nods. Now, shall we go back, or shall we journey into another?
And look over to Aldith.
Fire is
Do I have
blazing
to make the decision? Anyway, continue, Sin. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're fine. You want to say something, Sever?
I don't know why my phone keeps doing that.
Your phone wishes for you to speak, apparently.
Yeah, but I'm not ready.
Fair enough. Yeah. She kind of nods at the three of you, and she just kind of goes, "We can go back. However, the fire is burning nicely, and moving into this dream world is not difficult per se, but it can require focus that can be difficult in this weather. If you would like us to continue, and three of you are more than fine with looking at the past, we can do so."
Aldith would probably like move her hand to like Dakota's shoulder and squeeze it like comfortingly before like sort of sacrificing herself and being like, I'll do it again. It's like
Alrighty.
So.
So, child, where do your thoughts take you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Where do my thoughts take me? I think just seeing the darkness, it probably reminds her of the dark. Before I continue, what would there have been a funeral for her mother?
Oh, almost
or
certainly.
would okay?
So
I was
yeah,
gonna say, like, would there have been a
wood elves
period
have
like of mourning?
Yeah, wood elves have slightly different rituals than most
Right.
cultures. Their ritual is, well, their belief with death is that all wood elves, all souls, but all wood elves specifically, go back to nature once they die. So it's not necessarily a particularly sad event for the wood elves, as they will always come back as another piece of nature, kind of giving back to the earth as the earth is given back to them, kind of idea. But there would have been like a funeral of sorts. They probably believe that to free the soul, burning is the most effective, as a lot of different, I think one specific tree species requires you to burn the trees in order to get the seeds to bloom. So kind of similar idea there, where if you burn the body, the soul is allowed to roam and become something else. So they likely had a fire for your mother, and then just kind of viewed that as a progression of her soul, as kind of the funeral.
I suppose, as a follow-up question, would the church, like the building itself, where like her clergy worked out of, would it have gone dark? Would it have been like just empty for a while, like just as a period of mourning for her mother?
I would probably say so. I would say for your church specifically, the fire would be held within the building, as all lights would have gone off and everything like that, and then it would have stayed dark for the next couple of days. Yeah.
You see where I'm going with this, you beautiful soul. Yeah, so that's where her thoughts are drifting. It's probably like her probably wearing all black, I would assume. Like, as I think I said she was 12 when her mom passed away.
Something around that.
So like preteen Aldith in her, preteen. Like preteen Aldith in like black clothes, standing in the church building, like watching the smoldering of the fire of her mom's literal dead body.
The Dakota,
sorry, we're getting morbid.
You're fine. Dakota and Sapphire, you guys can kind of see the others around you. A bunch of full wood elves, half elves, a couple of humans in there. Kind of a good mix of the three races, but not much else. They don't necessarily seem sad per se. Obviously, this is a kind of mourning situation. This is where people are kind of embracing the fact that she is passing. I don't believe either of you would know proper wood elf beliefs. So for you guys, it's a little bit weird to see mourning without sadness necessarily, aside from, of course, Aldith. But they are obviously paying respect to the body as it is burning. Good wind flow, so the smoke isn't filling the room or anything. It's going through what appears to be some kind of open hatch at the top, something of that sort. But everyone is just kind of quiet and staring as the fire is roaring nearly to the ceiling.
Dakota, like, someone confusedly looks around at like everything before they start kind of realize what's going on. Like, hurriedly take off their hat in respects.
I love that. Okay. Sirius kind of obviously standing next to all of you, watching the weird flicker of light that you guys have gotten used to thinking of the fireplace is now the flame in the middle of the room. And Sirius kind of just nods to it and looks over at Aldith, and she says, "Why are you stuck on the death of one so far away, when even your own culture believes their soul passes on and are at rest?"
Aldith will, like, she's obviously listening, but she's taking a couple steps forward to, like, her younger self that she sees. And she, like, hesitantly goes to reach out to, like, rest a hand on her shoulder, and then immediately stops as she sees not, like, there's sadness there, but there's so much anger in little Aldith. She's gripping that pendant that I think everyone has seen at this point, that she wears, like, so tightly that her, like, knuckles are white. And Aldith, like, adult, like, right now, Aldith will turn and sort of face
Sirius.
Yeah, thank you. Sirius and sigh and just be like, bitterness has a way of planting roots, does it not?
It does. To be bitter is the nature of the world. To be bitter is a constant within most. And you kind of see their demeanor change again as their hands kind of fold in front of them, and they seem to get, like, a little bit smaller, almost, kind of like hunching just a little bit. They seem to almost visibly take up a little bit less space. And they say, but bitterness you keep inside of your heart infects the heart. It infects you. You've held it for so very, very long. But the question is, why?
I think as they say that, it would shift again to, I think, sort of like a little bit of a montage where it's like people of the clergy coming up to Aldith and being like, oh, it was Helm's will. It was his will to let your mother die, and stuff like that. And then
kind of telling you her soul has moved on, or the forest has claimed
like
her,
that.
or
And then it flickers to like older Aldith, like older teen Aldith into almost adulthood Aldith. Absolutely going ham on some training dummies, probably. And then to her going through her oath ceremony, like her taking up her oath, I think is like where we end up at. And like, Aldith looks guilty, almost shameful, and she shakes her head and she's like, I know why, and it's not easy to admit, but how am I supposed to get over something when the woman who raised me to believe so strongly in protection was not properly protected?
is a difficult question indeed. We look to the stars. One thing that often comes up is that some things are parts of patterns. They kind of wave their hand, and you can see, a star constellation kind of appear in front of you. And you can see the stars starting to get lines between them, forming the constellation. Set apart, every star is simply a star. Put together, you have a constellation. Many things which seem disconnected are often in some way connected. If this helm is protection, maybe it was that your mother protected. Your mother protected, and so the course of life ended with her. Even the stars die. Even reality is bent. Some things simply have an end. Sometimes it is due to wills beyond our own, and sometimes it is our own choices. I do not know why your god did not protect your mother, but maybe he was using her as a way to protect those that she loved, and she willingly went with it.
I think as they are speaking, there's going to be like flickers of Aldous, like human father, as well as specifically when it talks about Aldous choices, there is the sound of like a sword being unsheathed and the sound of like blood like spraying and stuff. And Aldith will flinch at that sound specifically.
Dakota Sapphire, do you do anything when you see Aldith flinch, when you hear the sounds of clear combat being had?
I like to think Sapphire would go immediately for her swords or her bow.
Okay.
I think Dakota kind of flinches as well, admittedly, because in changing form, I think they're a lot more sensitive to those kinds of sounds than in their dragonborn form. But I think they also go for the gun a little bit, but I think they kind of go over to Aldith and kind of is semi protectively, but like also for their own comfort in a way, kind of like almost grab onto her arm, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sirius kind of looks at Aldith and nods softly and says, "Hate within your heart can be a valuable tool. It is not something that you should let go of easily. But it is not something that you should hold on to just because it's there. Hate without direction, love without passion. Both have the same result. When you look within yourself, on the journey you have taken, what do you see?"
I think that's truly when the combat noises get louder and it's an immediate like boom right to the scene of Aldous Village being raided and her just mowing down the Crimson Talons that are there out of protection, and then just we follow her, like, mowing all these people down and opening the doors of the church to, I would say, probably find a crowd of people in a panic.
Mm-hmm.
And she's immediately rushing over, and everyone immediately parts, and she sees her father on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to bend down, and then everything disappears. Because she has no idea what happens after that. Because she doesn't remember it.
The inky darkness surrounds you all again. And Sirius looks from where the scene was and slowly back to Aldous.
Aldous, like, she has tears probably running down her face, and she's like, she's trying to think of how to, like, form this. Yeah, wow. My mind just completely... Give me something to work off of.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. She says, a hard sight to see and memories forgotten. Why do you block them?
Aldith will tilt her head at that, like, wipe away a tear. I'm not blocking anything. I don't remember.
Memories are a fickle thing. Sometimes you can lose them. But oftentimes, you are simply keeping them away. The question is, are you trying to keep them away?
She looks incredibly conflicted now because she... I guess I'll talk as her instead of explaining what she's thinking. I always thought I thought I blacked out. I don't... She's... You can't really form any coherent thoughts besides what?
Do you wish to see it?
She'll think for a moment. Like, really think. And then she'll give an incredibly firm nod. Like, her facial expression is, like, stoned. And she's like, yes. And she nods.
And so be it. They kind of wave their hand a little bit, and again, that mirage look to it occurs once more as the world shifts back to combat seems to be done from outside, at least from what you can hear. There doesn't seem to be anyone left. If there is, they're probably either dead, dying, or leaving. And inside of here, Aldith is kneeling over her father, who is outrageously bleeding out at this point. You're not quite sure what got him. Could have been an arrow, could have been a stab wound. At least from the position that you're in, you cannot see. And it seems almost as you kind of move around a little bit, get a better view, it's almost like whatever the wound is necessarily just can't be formed properly. And in the next moments, Dakota and Sapphire, you both see Aldith having massive, nearly translucent wings, bird wings specifically, with white feathers shooting out of her back, as they easily are I think, what, 6 feet in wingspan. They shoot out from her back, massive and almost glowing from what you can see, as a golden hue forms over her hand and courses over her father's body, slowly moving into what appears to be where the wound is, as the wound seems to close itself. Clearly part of her healing powers, although gold is not one you've seen her use previously so far. And after a few moments, the golden wings start to fade, as Aldith just looks incredibly tired. Her father sits up, and she falls into basically his chest, and he holds her. And you can see kind of the scene around you starting to fade, as the last thing that Aldith can hear is her father saying, prep a bed. And then it slowly moves back into the darkness that surrounds you.
Aldith is speechless. She did not think that that's what that was. So she's just like staring at where the scene was, and just like her jaw is on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Sarah simply watches Aldith.
Say after a moment, she's like shockingly tracing like her shoulder and trying to see if there's like anything back there. Like what the hell? Like you know, like
You don't feel anything when rubbing your shoulders.
She's just gonna, I don't know how.
Yuko, Sapphire, do you guys say anything to Aldith, having now witnessed the scene?
I think... Okay, so I think this goes for both me and Dakota. Dakota is not entirely sure what he just watched and what it means. But like he still is at like Aldith's side, just like kind of patting Aldith's arms, like I'm not entirely sure what that means.
Aldith will look over at Dakota and with like this just wide-eyed stare. I think I brought my father back from death? Like she doesn't even really know what's happening.
Oh, it's like oh, is that good?
Sirius simply replies, "The dead stay dead, but when they are only mostly dead, you can always bring them back."
I think for I think subconsciously, the void is going to very briefly switch to the church where Aldith first talked to Helm for the first time. As she makes the connection that this was her literally being divine intervention.
It's a nice church. It is. It's very large and quiet. And as you guys speak, your words echo off the walls. You guys do see for a moment Aldith kind of just talking to herself, it seems like. In very, at least for you guys, it's rather quiet. But as she's talking, kind of almost a background noise, you guys do hear responses from Helm as well. It's very much so in the background. So you guys have difficulty deciphering what exactly is said.
Aldith will sort of like give a laugh, like a bitter laugh, and she'll shake her head and she'll just, she still is like not sure what to say, but she's sort of slightly annoyed that like she like all this time, like Helm has actively helped her, and okay, let me voice this as her instead of just explaining. I've spent so much time wasted over hating him, over distrusting him when he is the same protector I've always thought he hasn't been.
Sirius nods softly and says, parents never require their children to believe everything about them. They simply require their children to walk whatever path their child desires, and to be safe while doing so.
I think as that is said, the church fades and it actively switches to a couple of hours ago where Aldith was talking to her mother for like pretty much the last time, but like in a good way. And just the absolutely positive joy radiating off of Aldith in that moment. I think Aldith will like nod in agreement. And I think I finally understand what I need to do, who I need to be. It's not who they've wanted me to be, it's who I want to be.
The world slowly fades back into the inky darkness with the flame flickering in front of you as Sirius simply nods. And with that, the journey of the stars is concluded upon your story, Aldith. You are who you desire to be. Who that is, even the stars do not know, but it is your path to take. She slowly nods over at Sapphire. Would you like to take this journey with your companions?
Sapphire will slowly nod.
Then we shall slowly cut back over to Cyril for a second. How you doing? Doing good. All right. The weather seems to be fickle. It's changing quite constantly for whatever reason. Sometimes the wind will blast down pretty hard, and the rain will just drench you. And then other times it will slow down and it will ease up a little bit. On the horizon, you still see that there is a really large, like, dark cloud that is slowly coming towards you. With the weird, almost magnification of the sky, you can see it in more detail than you would be used to. So you can definitely see that something's coming. How bad it's going to be is very much so debatable, but something is coming. In the meantime, is there anything you would like to do to change up your fire thing, or are you gonna keep it as it is? Zero?
I'm gonna keep it as it is. Feeding the fire, keep making sure there's nice big logs in it. Just, plenty of tinder and always at least one piece of fat wood.
All right. You do see, as you're looking around the campfire, kind of keeping the fire tended, making sure that it doesn't go out or isn't affected too much, which you pretty much have to do, like, constant maintenance on this fire, considering the weather at the moment. You do see, both Dakota and Aldous both have slight smiles upon their face, it looks like. Although, not necessarily very happy smiles, necessarily. But they are some form of smile. We're going to switch on back over to the inky darkness world. As Sirius looks over at Sapphire and says, "What are your thoughts, child? Where does your mind take us?"
I don't know.
What do you wish to see about yourself? Are you lost? Are you alone? Are you injured? Are you holding something back? Where are you?
Dakota's gonna like try to like tap Sapphire for a moment.
Hmm?
Just like really, really, really uncertainly.
Sapphire will turn to look towards Dakota.
Sorry. I know you're. I don't know if this is like a thing that we should be silent for, but I was wondering if like, since Aldith could see memories that were like blocked off. Do you think this could like? Can you get past the amnesia with this? Is that how the memories work? Were they taken out or were they blocked off? Okay, I'm gonna go back to Aldith. They tip tap back.
I don't know. Would that work?
Sirius kind of looks at you. You can tell she's, I suppose, studying you would be the best way to describe it. As she kind of looks you up and down, and she goes, removing memories is a great deal harder than even gods can achieve. As odd of an idea as that may sound, memories are integral to who you are and who you will become. Trying to remove them would be like trying to remove your happiness or your sadness. Your memories are still there, although buried, it looks like, and possibly fragmented. Odd. You have the strangest memories I have ever tried to witness. This may be a difficult journey for you. Do you wish to follow where the memories lead? Zephyr?
Yes, I would.
Alrighty.
One bot has entered the brawl.
She nods, and the world kind of shifts for a moment. But unlike the previous ones, unlike Dakota and Aldous, rather than that shimmer of a mirage, instead feels more like a broken mirror that is overlapping. So it's almost like you're looking at multiple images at the same time, but layered over one another. Is strange. Disorienting would be the best word to use there for the three of you. Watching this is difficult, to say the least. Instead of what seemed to have been a linear path that Aldith and Dakota had taken, Sapphire sees almost multiple versions. In one of these memories, she sees herself inside of the Feywild. First time that the two of you have seen the Feywild is strange. Things here should not necessarily be what they are, it seems like. Sometimes you'll see a tree that looks like it's been there for ages and ages turn into what appears to be a snake that just kind of slithers on through. You see the clouds turn a vibrant pink before changing to a blue, then to an orange, and then sometimes back to pink. You see all kinds of strange and fantastical things around you. And yet in this one, you see Sapphire talking to Solstice. He's much younger, it looks like. Definitely more embraced into his sun god nature. Looking at him almost hurts from just how bright he is and how bright he shines across the area. The weird, almost molten look in his eyes very much so leads you guys to understand the divinity that you are looking at. And here, in the Feywild, you can clearly see her making a choice to stay in the Feywild. As it shifts a little bit, and one of those background layers of mirrors kind of moves to the front, and that choice to stay talking with Solstice kind of moves backwards. You can almost see it if you focus on it. But the one that moves into the foreground is her inside of the Shadowfell. It's much darker here, much more simple. The trees are trees and the ground is ground. You can see that everything here is as it should be. There is no change to these lands. There is no adjustment. It is pure and simple order. No chaos, no adjustment, no change. Not necessarily. Everything here has a purpose, and everything's purpose is easily defined. As you are here, you see her talking to the moon goddess, although her name has never been spoken. You see her talking with the moon goddess as they are discussing with one another the different aspects of the Shadowfell. And you see in this strange, fragmented ideal, you see Sapphire clearly telling the moon goddess that she wishes to stay within the Shadowfell, to understand and to learn the rules and the patterns that are made. And as this fragmented ideal memory shifts to the side, you see a third one. In this third one, you wake up, or Sapphire wakes up, inside of the material world. And she has difficulty remembering the Feywild at all. Inside of this one, the only one that she recalls is her decision to be in one or the other is something she holds in her heart. And where she goes, she does not know. The three memories are kind of laid within one another. They are constantly moving back and forth. They are constantly there and not there at the same time. Cirrus says, "How strange. You have only multiple fragments of memories. You have memories of things that have only happened in your head. And yet, so real they seem to be. And oddly, this third one, the one where you are not beholden to either, is the one that stays in the forefront. Why is that? Why do you... hesitate might not be the word. Why do you seek not to choose? Or is there something further? Are you holding it within yourself, child? Or is the choice something scary? Or does it really even feel like a choice at all? Ever?
I'm here. Just trying to think of how I want to say this.
No worries.
I guess it's hard to make a choice. It's hard to... I don't fully remember like how I felt in all those situations.
Do you desire to feel it again?
Or at least know how I felt. However, I come by that knowledge, I guess.
She kind of waves her hand a little bit, and the fragmented mirrors kind of shift a little bit. And it's almost like it's puzzle pieces that are slowly starting to interlock, just slightly not quite right. And she kind of twists a little bit. Seems to definitely take her a lot more effort to do this than it was for the other two. As you can feel in your head, it just feels like a pressure. It's not particularly hefty pressure, and it's definitely not pain, but it's something that you can feel there. And as she moves her hand, it feels like she just kind of digs in a little bit. Whatever is in your head does appear to be as fractured as what it is that you are looking at in front of you, possibly due to the dead god from below the sewers. And as she kind of digs in and adds some more pressure, you start to kind of feel some of the scenes that you're witnessing. As you're in the Feywild, and more than free to correct me as you will, but as you're in the Feywild talking to Solstice, what you love about this area, about this land that you're witness to and beholden to, is that there is freedom. There's freedom of expression, freedom to be you, freedom of everything around you to be beholden to be strange, to be silly, to be chaotic, to be wild. The freedom is incredible. But there are almost no rules within the Feywild. There's almost no bounds, no boundaries, no guidelines, no guardrails, no rules to be had. And with that freedom is a freedom of choice. But without rules, without anything to guide you, it's a paralyzation of choice. There's excitement, there's passion, there's embrace, there's excellence. But there is no upper limit. And that very concept is almost terrifying. And it almost feels like that limits you at the same time as it frees you. As the scene shifts and the puzzle moves to the side, and you can see the Shadowfell come into expression once more, this is almost the opposite. There are only rules here. Freedom is only desired within limits. The limits dictate your freedom. The limits dictate your passion. The limits, the guidelines, the rules, the structure that it has is almost completely opposite to the limitless nature of the Feywild. It holds you in place. It keeps you from going too far out of bounds. And that structure, that rigidity, gives you comfort. It gives you a safety net. It gives you something to land on. But with that safety net, you cannot reach towards the stars as you would be able to in the Feywild. They are two sides of the same coin. They are two extremes of the same ideals, and they do have their own purposes and their own worlds to be in, both of which you quite enjoy. You enjoy being limitless, you enjoy being free, but you also enjoy having a cap. You enjoy having something to strive for and to be held down by, as you know that your choices are not infinite, they're within a certain bound. The two are equally expressive, the two are equally desirable, but the two cannot mix. A world that is freedom at its highest, and a world which is absolute order, cannot mix between the two of them unless there is some kind of consensus, unless there is some kind of compromise, and the two have never been able to establish that. Which is why you've seen them go into battle after battle. Because the two refuse to compromise. There is no being that walks between the two lands as you do. So there is no being that has seen both sides of this coin to its same extent. There is no way to promote compromise, aside from potentially yourself. But you, I would say, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say that you are not sure if you should make that compromise. As the third land comes up, the material realm of which you are landed upon and currently are in, the belief is slightly different. Chaos is within rulings. Chaos is within limits in this land. In the material realm, you can be anything, but there is always something that limits you down. Depending on who you are, what you are, your mortal body has limits. Whether or not that is interesting to you, whether or not you believe that is a good thing, is entirely up to you. The first two, you love both aspects. This material realm, you are not sure. It's up to you entirely on how you feel as the third one comes into view and you see yourself getting up in your general cloak. You have your bow, you have your original 2 short swords, and all you know is that you have a mission to eventually help choose which side wins, if either does. As you start walking down your path, how does Sapphire feel about the material world as she sees herself walking down that path that she once started on?
Like when she first started walking down, how does she feel?
Yeah, you're essentially seeing yourself walk down this path, and you know how you feel about the Feywild, about the expression of freedom and the limitless bounds. And you know how you feel about Shadowfell, where there is only order, there is only bounds, and your freedom comes at the cost of limits. But in this world, a material world, there is order to the chaos, where you can be anything within certain limits, so far beyond what Shadowfell gives you, but so much less than what Feywild gives you. How do you feel knowing those two extremes, and then seeing yourself walk along the material realm? How does current Sapphire feel about this?
I think deep down, Sapphire would feel like she's, I guess, like she can do this as in anything she can in this world. Saying as like it's kind of in between. It's a little bit of both the worlds that she's stayed in.
Okay.
Because it's got that wildness, but not like super crazy, and it's got that order, but like not so much.
So something, yeah. So Sirius is gonna look at you and go, "You desire to stay here rather than home?"
Yes.
Do you feel like your choice will restrict you from doing so?
Hi, baby. It's hard to say, but I'm leaning towards no.
How do you think that you will make a choice? If you could choose right now, in this moment, and you see the world kind of shift in front of you, to the chaos of Feywild to your left, to the limited order of the Shadowfell on the right, and the somewhere in between of the material world in front of you. She says, if you had to choose, would you save the Feywild and make it so that combat doesn't occur? Would you save the Shadowfell, make it so the two blend and order is restrained? Or would you choose in between and see if a compromise can be found? Where does your heart lie, Zephyr?
I'll always try and compromise first. But if it comes down to fighting or not, I'd probably lean towards not.
Interesting. Your memories are difficult to put together. You seem to have memories of both lands, almost as if they are the same. Your walks through both lands have changed time in your world. Realm walking often does change one's internal sense. So effectively speaking, your memories of both of these lands are both true. Your memories, and she kind of like shifts through them a little bit, and you see yourself doing stuff in the Feywild, exploring, wandering. You seem about the same age, from the best that you can tell, as you currently are. You're wandering, you're exploring, you're learning about everything that the Feywild has to offer. The excitement is palpable. And Dakota and Aldith, you can both watch the absolute insanity that you're witnessing. And you understand very quickly why Sapphire is able to do everything that she can. She had to adapt, she had to learn, and something that both of you honestly have difficulty fathoming. Like, you guys seeing the world that Sapphire is exploring is difficult for your brains to process because of how strange and convoluted it tends to be. As it switches over to the Shadowfell, and Sapphire sees the rules being laid down, she learns discipline, she learns order, she learns the hunt, she learns the passion that is gripped within the idea that there is only so much that she can do at any point in time. The discipline that she learns from the Shadowfell is almost the same as the passion and the exploration and the desire that she feels within the Feywild. And you can see this, Sapphire, as you move through both lands. The memories that both lands have for you come flooding towards you. You remember your love and desire for the Feywild's chaos, the rigid order and the limits that are imposed on you in the Shadowfell, prompting you to be better, to be faster, to be more engaged, to be more aware, to be more you, as per se. Both those flood into you. Both of those fill you. And the difficulty that you remember, which is why they had to take your, well, why you asked them to take your memories, it floods with you as well. The idea that it would be nearly impossible to choose which home you truly love, because you love both. But the memories of your time in the material world flood in as well. The times you spent with your companions, such as the time that Dakota showed you, with everyone laughing. The times that you can feel free to hunt, or feel free to talk. The things you explore in this world, which are strange and chaotic, and some things just don't feel like they should be there. Like the howling winds atop the waters a mile out from shore that you've seen. Or the elder tree that you guys have gotten to experience. The veins that run under the continent itself. Those flood into your brain as well. The three choices are there. And you remember that the difficulty you had, the true essence of why you yourself requested them to take your memories. It's because you didn't know which side you loved more. You didn't know which side you would be able to land upon and not hurt for the other side. The war itself was a choice between the two of them. But with your travels upon the material realm, with your travels upon the land that you remember, you know there is a third choice now. At least that you can conceive of. It is either stay in the material plane, or convince the two sides to have some kind of compromise, and make it so you stay in the material plane is a bridge. It's either you cut off connection, or you add connection. suppose it would technically be 4 choices, but the last 2 choices are similar. The memories that you've gained through the material realm are ones that you hold very close. And you know, better than pretty much anyone around you or aside from you, that your choices, you could still pick any if you so choose. But the idea of walking between the lands in the material realm is one that presides over you. So truly, the only choice that you're really thinking of, that really is sitting in your brain at this point, which you certainly do not have to answer now, and Sirius is not looking for an answer. The only choice that reigns through your mind is, do I stay as a bridge between both lands? Or do I simply stay within the material realm instead, and let them be as they are? That is the question that rises in your mind. The question that parades for you. And Cirrus, seeing that you have that question in your mind, she simply nods and says, "It seems like you have found who you are. Your memories have been unlocked. Your past is freedom. But where you go from here, your future, that is for you to figure out. That is for you to desire." And the world changes back to that inky black darkness once again. And she smiles and nods to Sapphire and goes, do you feel like you have an understanding of yourself now? Do you feel like your future is open rather than... She kind of glances over to Dakota. Caged.
Dakota looks around at the others, just like nods.
I think so.
Mm.
I think I have a better understanding of how to go forward now.
Fantastic. In that case, the stars have chosen the path that you will be witness. And as the finalization of the stars above have gloriously looked upon you, we shall head back. Be prepared, as moving between the land of dreams and the land that lies without is a difficult one. As Cirrus closes her eyes, you all follow suit. And as you come back to the real world, all of you roll me a Constitution saving throw if you would. It's bad.
Ooh.
Oof.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oof,
Oh,
Dakota. Oof, boy, Dakota.
Homeboy is throwing up and passing out at the same time.
Hey, it's not a Tyrant session if Dakota doesn't shake and die. Yeah.
No. Use Devil's Luck. You can re-roll, right? Still very barbed.
And Sapphire, I believe... Oh. Hell yeah. Hey, Oleander's working. Woo! It's really worried that Oleander wouldn't be happy, but woo, worked. Alright. Aldeth, you're feeling a little bit woozy. Your head's kind of spinning a little bit. As you look to the side, you swear you see Cyril without any clothes aside from a robe on his lower half, staring at you. And you also swear that you see one of the largest and gnarliest looking chest scars that you have ever seen in your entire life. You swear that his chest scar looks like he's been impaled by a shield. One that may or may not be eerily similar to the shield he usually holds.
That's great.
Well, you're very woozy. Sure, you were very woozy at the moment. It kind of feels like you took a couple too many drinks. You know, not excessive amount, just a couple too many. Sapphire, your world is spinning a little bit. The wind and rain hitting your face kind of feels peaceful, but yeah, you kind of like fall backwards a little bit, lay down on the soft grass, and stare up at the angry clouds above you. Head slightly spinning. Dakota, you just immediately throw up. It is a very unpleasant existence for you as you are moved back into your body, and you have switched from your Dakota form to your high elf form to your changeling form to your high elf form, and now from Dreamland you are now switching back into your Dakota form. Yeah, your brain struggles to recall the form of your body and how tall you are and the physical stuff as you just immediately vomit onto the ground.
Yeah, so I think I think he comes back into reality, and he just suddenly just starts immediately, like, it's a trippy sight for everyone involved and might scar them for the rest of their lives. As he's just shifting between different forms in the span of like several seconds, and it's like an existential crisis, sped run and time lapsed, as he's switching and he's like flickering between heights. Is he changeling? Is he elven? Is he human? Is he dragon? He eventually settles on his dragonborn form, but he's like still kind of like quivering on the ground.
Basically, this whole process looked like a living Picasso painting.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was quite horrifying. It was a definitely very disturbing view. And yeah, Dakota's now just laying curled out fetal position on the ground, right next to just a massive pile of vomit.
Reach out, rub Dakota's back. Oh, poor thing.
I'm okay.
Yes, you're very okay.
As Cyril's like near Dakota trying to comfort, she's like narrowing her eyes trying to get like a better picture. She's like, am I still like picturing things, or like is this actually happening? And he's like half naked in front of me and has this huge like gash in his chest. What is happening?
You like squint your eyes, kind of narrowing towards Cyril, and like everything starts to like come into focus for a second. Yeah, no, that's a big ass fucking scar in his chest. That looks like an impalement scar if you've ever seen one.
Isn't Cyril like desiccated?
Yeah, so what you're seeing is the stretched, thinned out, is a stretched, thinned out abdomen of like a blue-gray skin. That massive gash is like in like the lower, just below the chest, and on the chest, like the massive gash is actually way better healed than the scarified carving across his upper chest, like across both pecs, going down. And it is like you're getting a much better picture of what he looks like, because he now has none of the loosely fitting clothing that makes him look a little bit more proportional.
One, out of character. Never say the word pecs again, please, God.
His
Pectorals.
pectorals.
No, stop. That's worse. I feel like, without meaning to be rude, Alda is straight up staring. She's like she's really trying to decipher what she's seeing right now. Because like, but like not in a rude way, not like, oh god, this is horrifying, but in a, who do I fuck up? Like, who did this, and who am I getting mad at, and who am I fucking up if they're still alive?
Do you ask that question out loud?
No, but you can definitely tell that's the look on her face.
I'm continuing to like rub Dakota's back, like they're there, just get it all out. And I'm not really looking at Aldith, but definitely saying it to her. Your holy symbol is your crest, what you wear on your neck. This, and he motions to his chest. This is mine. I did this.
Technically did the lower one too.
And the one responsible for this, the motions to the one that's a little bit lower on his body, that one was also me and someone else who already died in the process.
So that anger immediately disappears off of her face, and it's replaced with, like, not, like, sort of solemn, but, like, also, like, a look of understanding where she's just like, like, just like, got it, okay, like, I don't technically need to fuck anyone up, question if it was a good idea, maybe, but
I think you have the answer.
Respect the decision. Especially in a religious standpoint, she would respect the decision a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
She'd probably then turn her attention to either... Probably Sapphire, make sure Sapphire's okay. Because no one, like, because Cyril's focused on Dakota, and she's like, oh, well, no one's looking after Sapphire. What's going on with Sapphire?
How do you feel at the moment, Sapphire?
The looks of the 7, not great.
Not particularly good, no.
But not vomit.
This
not
is true.
Vomit bad.
This is
so,
true.
Like,
Head's kind of spinning a little bit.
it's just a heavy case of vertigo.
7 TTS.
Not bad, but not exactly good.
It's fair. It's fair. Yeah, you see her kind of like laying back, kind of air quote heads in the clouds, just trying to more or less get a handle on her vision, her brain, and stuff like that. And Sarah speaks up, and she goes, "Ah, it is often a rough path between the land of dreams and the land of the living. Although," she kind of looks at Dakota, "that is not a usual response.
I'm okay. I'm sorry.
Indeed. She kind of looks over at Cyril. You've done well keeping the flames lit. I'm sure the others can continue to keep the fire on as this weather. Ooh.
It's
so
worse.
much worse. that hard thunderstorm that you saw in the distance was about an hour or so ago. Most of Aldous and Sapphire stuff was kind of contained in about an hour and a half of real time. And you see that storm slowly, like it's heading closer, and you can hear and feel the rain picking up sharply. You can see that the clouds above have gotten like angry dark. Like it looks like darkness is starting to flow from one end to the other as the clouds kind of move over. The wind has picked up quite sharply. Your I suppose makeshift protection for the fire is doing relatively well, especially with the logs. The flame is flickering quite heavily. Is definitely struggling, but it's still heading on steady. Ooh, Elmar's disappeared. Ah, Discord's mad at him. The flame is holding steady. She looks at Cyril and says, "Would you like to journey into your world? It will be difficult. The flame is struggling. The wind and rain have gotten worse. It seems like it shall be for most of the nights. You are welcome to do so with your companions if you so desire, although..." She kind of looks over at Dakota.
If you want me, I'll be there. You just gotta figure out how to sit up. I've got it.
No, it's all right, child. It's okay. Looking off into the distance at the looming thunderstorm, which is not getting any better by the minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the wiser decision would be for me to forego this journey.
Mm.
As soon as he finishes that, Aldith is like, "No, absolutely not."
Aldith pulls out her punch in hand.
I appreciate your
Candor.
your zeal. But I fear it is... I fear that the elements are against us.
She'll, because I assume we're still sitting. So she'll get up very slowly, making sure not to, like, fall forward. And she'll walk up to him and just, like, place, like, very lightly place a finger into his chest, like a, you know, like, getting in there, being like, "Motherfucker." You constantly put things on hold for us, and it is time that you take a moment to care for yourself instead of putting it off. Cyril, you are horrible at that. You know that, right? You are actually quite literally the worst when it comes to taking care of yourself. And quite frankly, I'm a little bit tired of it. So if you could please just park your ass down and do the walk.
Suppose if you insist.
Good, because the second option was me smiting you again, and I don't think either of us want that to happen, so please go sit down.
You know, young lady, I think you need to learn a third option. I know it's a bit rich coming from me, but if I'm saying it.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, with that, I am going to have to end the stream, as it is getting to our dinner time and a little bit past it. So, I am so glad you guys were able to join today. I'm always happy to do this. It's so much fun. If you guys have not checked out my players, please go check them out. They are so very, very cool. They'll have their own different stuffs to do. The story's going to be streaming tomorrow, I believe. And you guys get to check out all the lovely people here, as well as all the people tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will be back with some King's Kindness at 6 p.m. PST. But we're also going to be... God damn, Ray, you've gotten over 1 million! Raise over 1 million coins! Hell yeah. First person has ever gotten 1 million.
Oh, wow, he's gonna fucking kill me, dog.
It's gonna be great. So, but we will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST with some King's Kindness. But we're also going to be back in about 3 hours or so, a little bit less than that, playing some Resident Evil Requiem. So if you guys are interested in continuing that journey with me as we started yesterday, I would absolutely love to have you guys there. So we're going to move over to my end screen, and we're going to be rating my very, very good friend, Evie. Evie is super cool. She is very, very much so a sweetheart. She's playing some Stardew Valley, which is something that I want to get back into at some point here soon. So we're going to go ahead and rate her, give her some love, show her all the big feelings that we have. And hopefully you guys have had a wonderful time joining us for this adventure. And if you guys have not already, go check out either our Discord or our Tables of Tartarus YouTube channel, where our TTRPGs are. Alright, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Ba-da-boop.